Good evening and welcome to Turning Corners Corner Gems. My name is Rene Brathwaite, and this is not so much the inaugural podcast, but because I've made several videos at this point, but um, I've decided that no matter how this comes out, I'm keeping it because I'm tired of doing them over or seeking perfection or whatever the case is. But of course, after some edits and some other things that are supposed to make this better or more clean, we'll have some kind of finished product, and I'm just going to put it out. So, so that's what we're doing here tonight. It is 10:01 p.m. January 8th, 2025, and I am sitting at Turning Corners Inc., our new office, which is at 700 Barksdale Road in Newark, Delaware, Suite 6. We moved here in November. I think it was November 8th to be exact, of 2024. Our move-in day was actually supposed to be November 1st, 2024, which would have been very symmetrical, or had a lot of symmetry to it, because it was actually 6 years to the day that I actually opened the practice at my first location, which was at the University Plaza location in Newark, but not in the city of Newark, which is where I am now. And it was exact November 1st, 2018, on a Thursday. So it was great symmetry, but it didn't exactly happen that way. There was some other hoops to jump through, but essentially that was our first day here. So I'm sitting in this office. Right now I'm in the all-purpose room, and the all-purpose room is where we are going to be attempting to do as many as we can, as many as anyone can think of, workshops, seminars, groups, and of course doing as many podcasts as we can, podcast episodes that is, as we can, because the idea is to try and increase our sphere of influence on the community, and then also offer a place for others in the community that have something that they would like to share. It doesn't have to be about counseling, it could be anything. My thought process is, and again, trying to create some sort of evidence base around this, is that our community members have just as much to offer as anyone else that you see on TikTok and out there on the web. And of course that makes sense, right? I mean, of course the people you're seeing online are regular people just like you and me. But and what I've seen a lot is that because you may not see enough people from your neck of the woods doing those same things, you may feel like there is maybe a wealth of knowledge, expertise, energy, can do, resources elsewhere, when people in your own neighborhood are doing a lot of different things, a lot of imaginative things, a lot of great things in your community. You just don't know them. So Turning Corners aims to be the place where any regular person with any type of skill base, any knowledge base, can come here and teach a quick seminar, teach a quick workshop, and increase their sphere of influence on the community to improve it. So that's what I'm doing here. That's going to be essentially what this podcast is about. It's about trying to improve the listeners' motivation, try to work from a strengths-based approach, which is what I do in counseling more often than not. I try to motivate my clients to see, or at least identify their best selves at some point along their journey. We all have seen the best or some better version of ourselves at different times in our lives, based on what has been asked of us, or what has been what has happened to us that's made us rise to the occasion, what has angered us enough to make a change, what has scared us enough to make a change. I like to call that self-efficacy. I didn't coin that, obviously, and that's a real term, but a lot of people may not know that term, or know that that is what that is about, right? It's about you having overcome something before, or having undertaken some sort of transformation, metamorphosis, some sort of major change, or some sort of incremental change, even doesn't have to be major, that you took, some steps that you took um, to improve yourself, and whatever that took, mentally, physically, and emotionally, that's a blueprint for you to do it again when you have to. Right? That's self-efficacy. Many times we listen to other people's stories. Many times we listen to or read other people's books, watch their movies, and we gain or glean information from that, glean inspiration. And that's all well and good, but you have it too, right? There's plenty of things that you have overcome and that you have identified, learned from. So most of the time, my job is to not only hear your story, but be able to pull out the strengths that you may have not realized were there, formulate them or put them in words that you can identify and that you can use next time you need it to empower you to do the same thing again, or something similar, something better this time, right? Again, like MacGyver, make something out of nothing, but in this case, really not nothing. Make something out of the skills that were already in there, right? If you were a survivor once, you're still a survivor. You just haven't had to survive recently, or you haven't had something to overcome recently, but you've done something before, right? These adjectives stick with us, right? They define us. So that's what this podcast is. This podcast is just me attempting to find a way to motivate anyone that may be walking in my current shoes, right? Which is as a father, right? Anything that I identify as a father, a business owner, a male, black male, therapist, counselor, right? Interchangeable. An educator, right? Someone who's educated. Anything I identify as, I plan to talk about it. My hope is that I can get the other clinicians that work at my practice to come along for the ride here and offer their own stories and other things that they think are important. We'll engage in as many different conversations as possible. I hope that we are engaging and fun. I think I can be fun. Right now I'm being informative, so don't judge me on this. There's a lot more I'm going to say, a lot more I'm going to do, not in a clown way, but I got stuff to say for things I do. People know me. But ultimately, that's what this is about. So I'm going to keep this damn take. Not doing nothing with it. I'm going to look at it, possibly edit it. But right now, I feel pretty damn good about it. So I'm going to keep it. It's going to be the official first video. Maybe I shouldn't have cussed, but I don't really cuss. Anyway, I'm honest, right? That's another thing. I think most of my clients would tell you, pretty honest dude. Say what I'm thinking, right? Yeah. So that's me. You're gonna get a lot more of me in this way. But I'm gonna just start off or end this by saying this last thing, which is about because I like topics and I like kind of like trajectories, like where we're going. So I'm gonna start off the first couple of episodes talking about how I got here and what made me do what I've done so far, right? And I'm not quite sure where I want to start along that journey, because it's not like I want to rehash my entire story. Like, I'll wait for someone to go, man, I want to hear about this guy's life story. So if you tell me that, then I'll tell you, right? Which I wouldn't say that I had went through some crazy traumas or anything like that, right? Like, it may not be as good a story as, let's say, I don't know, 50 Cent. But did we grow up in the same neighborhood, though? Yes. But do I know him? No. Did I go through the same things as him? No. So sometimes that's interesting in itself, right? The parallels between where you grew up versus someone else, but you might have grown up in the same place or similar place, right? So that's what I want to do. I want to tell my story in some ways. I will decide exactly where to start on that journey so that it's palatable for the current listener. And then there's people that know me from back in the day that may want to hear some more about some other stuff I've been through. Some people that already know my story to a degree. So I'll try to share what I can that I think is is helpful. So we'll go from there. I'll end this right there. Couple quick shout outs. I shout out my parents. Thank you for everything you've done for me to help me get here. I shout out my siblings, my two sisters, for believing in me and helping me along the way. I shout out my wife and my kids for making my life easy and keeping me young. And all of the people that have taught me along the way. I want to shout those people out, all my professors, all my teachers, all of my family friends, all of my friends, all my best friends. I want to shout out to all my clients too, right? Like, you've all taught me a lot, right? You guys have made me a better person, a better husband, better father. And just by working through some of the things that we've worked through, just helped me to also practice some of the things that I've been trying to preach. So I appreciate the learning as well. So that's what we're going to do here, try to learn together. Okay, I'm going to sign off with that and hope to be back with another episode in less than a week. It's going to try to be every Wednesday. That's the schedule. I'm going to try to stick to it. Okay, signing off.